What's up, guys? Ice Boy here. So this is my barbarian. He's godly as fuck. If you want to duel him, let me know in the comments below, and I'll beat your ass. He goes by the name of Ice Hog, level 87. Check out his gear. And yes, I received a handout. I didn't give a fuck. I took twin flame bellows, okay? Check these out. Because I wanted to try it out just briefly with Frenzy. Because look what it does, man. Holy Fire Aura. And it actually stacks if you have two of them, apparently. Let me know in the comments below if that's bullshit. So yeah, he still has his IK stuff on, little Raven Frost, little this and that. Yeah, shitty helmet, High Lords. But I do have full IK on Switch here, as you can see. But nonetheless, dog, I wanted to show you guys what this does just real quick. Because I'm thinking about either making a barbarian or an assassin. I'm leaning toward the assassin, okay? But check this out. It doesn't hurt fire immunes. So you gotta slap that ass. You gotta slap that ass. I kind of wanted to show the aura effect, but it's difficult to tell when I'm being swarmed by these Yeti motherfuckers. But alright, check it out. I'll show you the flame effect, alright? And this is, of course, an area where monsters have quite low HP. This is hell near the pit. So I'll get rid of a couple fire immunes here. The aura damage does okay. Here's this chick. Watch what it does to her. See that? It's actually about to kill her. Interesting, it killed her. I didn't really expect that. But I'll show you in the Frigid Highlands what it can do. So check this out. But let me know if you guys have decided yet what character and build type are you going to make for the upcoming Season 2 in Project Diablo 2. It starts March 12, I believe. So Ice Boy will be there. But here it is in a later part of Hell. You see, it has quite a radius to it. It just does fire damage. Yeah, I'm about to die before it kills anyone here, so I use a potion. But it helps supplement your damage a little bit. And early on, it's a lot more helpful. And I believe you can get like the Dragon Rune Word, and maybe that actually enhances it even more. It casts Hydra, and of course you can stack fire facets on a build like this. Maybe gear that pierces enemy fire res. I don't know. If there are a few pieces of gear you can get like that and equip to the Barbarian. I know that Frostburn gloves actually, they pierce. Do they pierce cold and fire now? I don't remember which. But yeah, it's interesting. But what I want to try, potentially, is a Whirlwind character. Maybe a Whirlwind assassin. Because here's how Whirlwind is right now. Here, I'll put on IK set. And it hits a couple enemies at once. Now, it's been reworked for PD2 Season 2. Where it now has splash damage. Alright, and some folks say this is a buff. Some folks say it's nerfed because it has an effect that has been nerfed about it. But in general, it seems the general consensus is that Whirlwind is actually buffed in PD2. For multi-target at the least, and for single target it still might be questionable. And it also can proc effects, like weapons that cast damage on striking or on attack, things like that. So you can come up with some interesting builds, and check out this glimpse of a video of a barbarian using it. Here he is, and he's using Bone Hew. So look at that shit. He casts Molten Boulder. He's casting a lot of Bone Spears. And you can kind of try to interpret here the multi-target damage or the hit radius and things like that. Because something's been fucked with a little bit, where it no longer hits like 2 targets at once. I think the attack speed or the hit per second has been slowed just a little bit. Let's read about it, alright? I'll stop talking out of my ass for just a fucking minute and we'll read about it. We'll see what the actual notes are. But it's casting a lot of bone spears. It looks cool. Folks are, of course, debating whether or not this is going to be a practical effect when it comes to optimal kill speed and shit like that. I don't know. You could have interesting items on this character and he'll just shoot shit everywhere. So it'll create an interesting visual at the least. But let's see what has been changed for Whirlwind. So here's what they did to Whirlwind. Whirlwind has been reworked to now have melee splash and use proc effects, but now attacks at 5 frames fixed instead of 4, and now attacks 1 target per attack instead of 2. So Whirlwind kind of does, in my opinion, shitty damage compared to other skills with how it scales, right? So this might be a good thing, with that being said, because splash damage, of course, just splashes your base damage and all your elemental effects and so forth to surrounding enemies. So you're not losing out on that much if it's not, because it doesn't rely on your enhanced damage from your skill anyway, splash damage. So it's going to be less of a loss and perhaps more of a gain when you're hitting all sorts of shit around you. But I don't know, man. We're going to have to put this stuff to the test and give it a shot. Because really what I want to do is I want to try out the Whirlwind Assassin. Folks remember that bitch from a long time ago, in a galaxy far fucking far away. You remember that? The Whirlwind Assassin, Chaos Claw, dog, back in the day. Back on Botnet with Hammerdins flying all over the place. Once in a while, you'd see an assassin that could actually whirlwind, and she was okay at dueling. She pretty much sucked everywhere else, but at dueling, you know, it was unique at least. A whirlwind barb would beat that ass, but nonetheless, it was unique. So they took it a step further now in PD2, right? Where I think this bitch is going to have some potential. She's going to be a bit more effective, I think. It's going to be tote as fuck. For one, they have buffed weapon range, whereas weapons that used to have 0 to 1 range will now have 2 range, okay? So this is applicable to most claws. So, ain't gonna lie to you guys, I want to make an assassin that uses Chaos Claw. And look what they did to it in PD2. It's actually more godly than ever, because you can make it in an ethereal claw now. So this shit repairs itself. Now I have heard rumor that this whole repair mod needs to repair faster because it's not fast enough or something. I don't know if it's a glitch or if really one durability in 12 seconds just simply isn't enough when you're constantly whirlwinding. I don't know which is the case, dog. But rumor also has it that this shit is going to be fixed for Season 2 anyway. So who gives a fuck? But yeah, this Chaos Claw is interesting, alright? And here's what they changed in PD2. It now casts a level 21 Frozen Orb on striking. And remember, yeah, this thing casts Whirlwind. Or it adds Whirlwind to your Assassin, basically, because it's only applicable to Claws, this Chaos rune word, and you can only use Claws on the Assassin. So you get Whirlwind with the Assassin. But remember, Whirlwind now, in Season 2, PD2, can proc weapon effects and so forth. So with Chaos, you can actually make use out of the Frozen Orb and Charged Bolt while whirlwinding. So this could be tote as fuck, and it does a lot of magic damage. It does a lot of base damage because it has a range of 290 to 340% enhanced damage. And obviously you can make it in an ethereal claw now. So this is going to make for a pretty interesting claw chase. You know, it's always fun trying to find that runic talon or whatnot. Something of a very high, rare base with a decent added skill range on it. You know what I mean? Something with like Lightning Sentry or Death Sentry or whatever your build is. Wake of Fire, maybe. Maybe even Shadow Master or Venom. You know, Venom's going to be godly as fuck in PD2. So maybe you want Venom on that shit. But nonetheless, I'm thinking about having Chaos in one hand. And then, this is probably too expensive. You know, you might be a dumbass if you make this. But it would look cool to have Wind in the other hand. Of course, you could have Phoenix Shield, or you could have Storm Shield, or you could have another Claw, Fury, or Wind, or there's another one, Plague. Yeah, I think Plague would be really interesting. Let me show you Plague in just a minute here. But here's what Wind does. Now, it's worth a frickin' burr rune. You have 2 Sirs and an L. 8% chance to cast level 29 Tornado on striking. 20 to 30% faster run walk. 40% IAS. And remember, this is going to be coupled with the new reworked martial arts assassin, where Phoenix Strike and Tiger Strike and all these other strikes have been reworked, dog, where they're going to be godly as fuck. You're casting all sorts of shit. You're casting little poison clouds and little poison nova things where your Venom skill actually adds to the poison damage from this skill. Now, it's going to be godly, man, and I'm really looking forward to it. And the lightning effect skill was always awesome. So apparently these skills are buffed and reworked, and they're actually going to be usable, because that was never really the case. Those were just meme assassins, and they never really were very competitive with higher-end optimal monster kill speed builds and so forth. So, yeah, these martial art assassins, I think, are going to be interesting. And with the Whirlwind you get from Chaos Claw, and that's okay, it's just 1 to Whirlwind. Like I said, Whirlwind doesn't scale that much anyway. So if it just gives you 1 point into it, and then your skills on your gear can buff that a little bit, I think it'll be enough. With considering how you can lay traps as well, unlike the Barbarian. And you can use these interesting claws for one, and you can use your martial arts tree. You know what I mean? So this could be really interesting. And it even casts Cyclone Armor on striking, so you have some defensive capability. Has decent damage. And here's what's really interesting about it, is that it casts Hurricane. 5% chance to cast level 9 Hurricane when struck. So you're going to have a Hurricane flying around your assassin like an elemental droid. So it could help with the defense, obviously. It's chilling enemies around you. In addition, it's going to look cool as fuck. And who knows, maybe it'll do a little bit of damage as well. 8 life after each kill, that would be a really nice mod. And a Twister on striking as well. Holy shit. So you cast Twister, you cast Tornado, you cast Cyclone Armor, and you cast Hurricane. See, and you'll be able to cast all this shit while whirlwinding. But let me know what you guys would think about a build like that in PD2. Now let me show you Plague. Oh fuck, where the fuck is Plague? Just a minute. Alright, so here's Plague. I used this in Path of Diablo because they enabled this in Path of Diablo as well. And it's also in PD2. This apparently was an original rune word or whatnot that was just never added to the game. Like, Blizzard already had this shit in the works. So, there it is, man. And you can make it in any 3-socketed weapon. But it was popular to make in Assassin Claws. As you can see here, it casts Poison Nova on striking. And unfortunately, I don't believe Venom will buff your Poison Nova. Some folks say that would be super OP if it could anyway. But it casts lower resist when struck. So that would be helpful if you're casting Poison Nova and other things. It has cleansing, which is one of the biggest deals about this. So it reduces your curse duration and your poison length, in which your character is poisoned. 1 or 2 to all skills, damage to demons. And this is big. It pierces enemy poison res. So let me ask you guys this. And it does Deadly Strike. You know, it has other nice mods as well. Open Wounds. But is your Poison Nova going to override the poison effect from your Phoenix Strike if it casts? Let me know in the comments below, because that would be a big problem. Because remember, your Venom skill adds to your Phoenix Strike Poison Nova. Or is it Tiger Strike? I don't know which fucking one strike it is, but it's one of them. And I know that your Venom adds to that poison damage. So if all of a sudden then you cast Poison Nova by hitting a motherfucker with Plague, Is it going to override your venom and all of a sudden just do shit poison damage? Let me know in the comments below if this is the case. That would be fucked up. Hopefully it's not the case. However, I think venom only lasts for half a second anyway, so it might more often than not do its, nearly anyway, the entirety of its damage before Poison Nova takes over. But let me know if that's an issue. But nonetheless, like the damn video. Become a patron if you want. Appreciate you all supporting Ice Boy. Links in the description below if you want to support me as well. And may the Creator bless my patrons and keep you. May your finances prosper. And may you have the best of luck with the venom. More videos to come. Peace with you.